Tesla make amazing cars, but they don't build great cars. Yet many Tesla owners are more than happy with their purchase, despite them being delivered with serious faults, ranging from cosmetic right down to actual motor faults or other faults at the time of delivery. Now, if this was another manufacturer, they just simply wouldn't get away with it. So today's video, we're going to be exploring why Tesla owners are more acceptable to these issues. Now, if you're new to my channel, before I ask you to like the video or listen to this video or take any notes of what I'm about to say or subscribe to me, you need to understand who I am. Now, I've been in the motor trade for 15 years of my life. I didn't start it straight away, but I've been in it for, most of my adult life. My father, however, has been in it his entire life. He started repairing cars when he was 12 and he's now in his 70s and he's still doing it. So ever since I was a small boy, I've known the motor trade and cars all my life. My dad was a trained mechanic, used to race cars, and then opened his own garage, buying and selling and repairing vehicles. And obviously we do a lot of EVs, but I also know everything about the motor industry, from new cars to used cars to PDIs to mechanics, and I know the way things should be. Now, Tesla has a range of faults that people are willing to accept. Now, before we talk to why they may accept them, let's go through the many reasons and many faults that people do have, which are genuine faults that I've experienced buying Teslas myself. And the main one, and everyone knows it's coming, and that is paint. Be this poor orange peel effect paint, which other manufacturers are guilty of, not just Tesla, but the other major problems with Tesla paint are it's either too thin, so not enough layers of paint put on, not enough layers of lacquer put on the paint, or just down to the fact that it wasn't done in a properly dust-free environment, so there's bits of dirt and muck trapped behind the lacquer or inside the paint when the car's been sprayed. Now, the other issues with the paint can actually be put down not to the painting process itself, but due to Tesla's prep. When it arrives here in the UK, for example, they come off the boat in Southampton, they're covered in dust from the transportation of the car getting down here, and then Tesla use an external valeting company to wash all their cars, and they take zero pride in that car that they're cleaning for you. And I have physically seen and heard stories of other people who've seen them come off the boat, and they dip them into dirty buckets of water, and they're physically putting scratches on your car with dirty sponges or dirty bucket water, and it's just not the way it should be done. They should be having people who are capable of doing their job rather than just the cheapest contractor that will wash the cars. They need to be taking a little bit more care and pride in your vehicle that you've just spent 40, 50, 60, 100 grand on. The other issues are down to poor inspections. Now, this inspection could either be an inspection that should have been done prior to leaving the factory, like every other manufacturer does, but Tesla are trying to hit targets of hitting certain things every quarter, so they don't have time to check the car, so they send it to the dealer, your dealer who is owned by Tesla, that should PDI your car before it's delivered to you, or it's done at the docks when it arrives. Now, again, this doesn't always happen, especially here in the UK and Europe. Many owners will get cars with damaged trim, missing trim, faults on the car because they've not been checked or driven prior to being given to the customer, and the customer then finds the car has a problem either a couple of days later or even 5-10 minutes into a test drive. I've picked up cars with damaged interior on brand new Tesla Model 3s and missing interior on brand new Model 3s. We then have a new issue where people are willing to accept missing parts of stock from their car because they've been pre-informed because of the semiconductor shortage and part shortage, which is affecting the entire supply chain, not just in Tesla, but other manufacturers as well are actually copying this part of Tesla's platform because they can make the car, but they might be missing one part, one item of the car that they can't fit. Now, for Tesla, this was some speakers or USB ports or a charging pad in the Tesla Model 3s. And they will fit them with a Ranger visit at a later date, and other manufacturers I know have missed out folding mirrors, for example, from a car, and then promised to be fitted within 6 months, 7-month period when the part supply comes back. So Tesla aren't the only one doing that, and it is down more to a global constraint rather than an individual issue of just Tesla being sloppy. It is all manufacturers, and that's why people are willing to accept that. Now, I'm firstly going to put my hands up as a person who's accepted a couple of Model 3s with faults at the time of delivery. In fact, every single Model 3 I've ever collected has had a fault on it. Now, the very first Model 3 that I collected with a fault on was for a customer, and we were buying the car on behalf of to then resell back to him. I rang him up, told him what was wrong with the paintwork, the bumper not aligning properly, and a couple of other issues, and he was happy to accept it as it was. Now, if it was my own personal car, at the time, I probably wouldn't have been too happy, and I would have probably forced Tesla to do it. Although I did get them to note the issues to hopefully fix it for this customer again in the future. There was also some damaged trimming in the interior and a dirty interior as well, which all the interior issues got fixed pretty much on the day I was there, apart from one of the pieces of trim that was torn, which they didn't do until a later date. And a good friend of mine, James Coates, he also accepted a Model 3 with various issues, and I mean quite a lot. He's documented it over on his YouTube channel, if you've probably seen that video. He had a motor wind, the carbon spoiler at the back wasn't fitted correctly. There was various issues, and he was willing to accept it and still has that car now. Then the last Tesla I picked up had loads of paint issues, and I mean loads of paint issues. It took Tesla over 12 months to fix these paint issues on this car. 12 months of me arguing and arguing and arguing, and eventually they resprayed my car and had it 6 weeks to get it repaired. But I still have a Tesla, and I still really like it. So why? Well, that's kind of down to the fact that everyone knows Tesla's got paint issues. Everyone knows a Tesla will be delivered with problems. So it kind of sets your expectations to be a lot worse than what you're expecting. So if you already know you're going to get a Tesla delivered with some faults, delivered with some problems, delivered with paint issues, you know the paint's not the best, you're accepting that it's going to happen when you make that order. And the majority of people ordering Teslas know that because they've done their research, they've looked at a YouTube video, they've heard from friends or on the TV that Tesla haven't got the greatest paintwork. But this is no reason to accept it. This is just me saying this is why most of us do. In fact, one of my friends has just literally picked up a brand new Model 3 which was covered in scratches. Every single panel was covered in scratches apart from one wing mirror. It literally looked like it'd just been around the rally course and been scratched and dented in every single part possible. Should he have accepted that? No, he shouldn't. Should Tesla have sold him the car as it is? No, they should have rang him up, said, "I'm very sorry, sir, your car's been delivered, it's full of scratches, it's really damaged, we're going to get you another Tesla Model 3, what we can do in the meantime is give you a courtesy car, one of our temporary cars, you can use this one till we get you a new one." They could have given a load of other things to sort the thing out for him. They could have even said to him, "Look, we're going to get it resprayed, we're really sorry, we can offer you a courtesy £1,000 for the hassle, or courtesy something for the hassle." If it was another manufacturer, any other dealer, and that car was that badly scratched when you pick it up, another dealer would have found another car or offered the options that I've just mentioned. No other manufacturer would have done that. The fact that they didn't even tell him it was scratched when he went to go and pick it up, and he documented it and saw it himself, is just shocking that they thought he would accept it and walk away with it. So why did he accept it? Well, to be honest, apart from some theories and some guessing, I really haven't got a clue why anyone would accept a car in the state that most Tesla owners do. And I actually want some people to comment down below in the comments with why you may have collected a Tesla with faults as it is, and if you think your Tesla's got no faults, trust me, if you take it to a bodywork expert, someone who works in the motor trade, someone who understands paint, they will definitely find problems with your Tesla paint. If you're an American watching this with a Tesla, from what I've seen of American cars in general, your paint standards to European standards is not the same, and that is because European cars tend to be painted by the same European type paint machine. The same machines in Europe are fitted in every single European car factory. Your cars in Europe are sprayed really well. In fact, for example, I was just talking to someone today, a Renault Zoe and a Hyundai Kona. You'd expect the Kona would be a better painted car than the Renault, but it's not. The Renault's better painted because the German paint machine used over here in Europe by the French manufacturer Renault is actually better. It's just a better paint finish, and that is down to the paint machines sold over here. So when Tesla do finally move to the Berlin factory and they have to fit one of these daft paint machines, they will likely get better paint as long as they decide to paint more paint on the car than they are in China. So my theory why people are willing to accept Teslas as they are, well, I think it's just a lot of people who buy Teslas now aspire to owning a Tesla. They want a Tesla. They see it as a pin-up car, as a Ferrari, as a status symbol, as a toy, because they have a massive big touchscreen in the middle, and you can play computer games on them. And most people who have been in the electric car industry have been pretty excited about owning a Tesla. I know a lot of people who've made financial stretches to buy Teslas, the Tesla stretch as many call it, because they want to aspire to own that car, that Tesla. It's their dream standard car. If you know, most people who are interested in electric cars see Tesla as the top, the best, and you know, they want one that badly. They're willing to accept the other things for them because they are great at making batteries. They have wonderful superchargers, cool minimalist interiors. And if you want a minimalist interior, you can't have any other car but a Tesla. All other manufacturers have not gone minimalist. Tesla have. And the closest thing I can think to a minimalist interior on an interior at the moment is maybe the ID3, but it's just a bit wacky on the interior. And it's a Volkswagen, not a Tesla. And at the end of the day, they can't keep running on fanboys or excited electric car owners to carry on buying their cars. Eventually, those people will probably move away from the Tesla brand because of quality issues or because of issues, or other manufacturers start to catch up in the more clear interiors and better design and go a little bit more gamey and a bit more fun with what the cars can do. And I can see a lot of manufacturers are starting to realise that and starting to copy it. And the supercharging network argument starts to go away slightly more as we see faster charging, Ionity, Electrify America. All these new charging infrastructure are going in, so the supercharger argument suddenly starts to disappear a little bit. There's also some brand damage that Tesla are doing by producing these cars the way they are. There is a finite tipping scale of how long Tesla can carry on selling these cars while customers will accept it, and how much brand damage they're doing long term to owners that have bought them and gone, oh well, I won't have another one because I had all these problems, I've got it out of my system. There's eventually, you know, you keep getting Christmas presents as a kid and you enjoy Christmas, but then you become an adult and the fun of Christmas suddenly wears away. And that could happen with Tesla. So Tesla need to kind of start fixing these faults as soon as possible. Now, if you're like me and you think that this is doing irreparable damage for Tesla, let me know down below in the comments, because I really want to know. I also think that as we're starting to see general buyers like your average Joes buy these cars, we're going to see less and less people willing to accept it and less people more excited about the brand of Tesla. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you very, very much for watching this week's video, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.